How's it going, Chef?
Oh, not bad. Just making my way through this Mercury retrograde. Tis the season.
I'm bang. We out here, baby.
Yeah.
It's my favorite time of year.
Yes. It happens 3 times a year. 3 to 4 times a year. Yes. No, it's great. It's a blessed event every time it comes.
Amen. I'm with it. This is when you tend to like get reset, right? Like you like clean up a lot.
Yes, I think the best way to look at it is a time to slow down and reset, and just kind of take stock also.
Okay.
And plan for the next your next moves. So that's why it's good that it happens like every 3 to 4 months or something like that.
I like it. Is this the last one for the year?
No. This is kind of the summery one. It's late summer though. So I think after this, the next one is maybe like mid-December or mid to late December into the new year, I think.
Okay. So that'll be more for like setting up the new year. This will be like this is the last one for like to get you set up for the end of year run.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Anything like you are seeing that you're like, oh, I'm gonna work on this to close out the year?
I've been told by multiple astrology apps that I need to keep an eye on my finances. That I need to get that figured out and squared away, and double check everything and make sure I'm not screwing things up anywhere. Which I'm certainly screwing things up. I've already ordered a thing, and for some reason was charged or money was taken from me from 2 different places. So I'm in the middle of those emails of like, hey, you're only going to send me one of these, but you took money twice. So either send me a second one or give me my money back. That kind of thing.
I dig it. Okay.
Yeah. And then just I got a new television for my birthday. My roommate got me a TV. That was awesome. Very nice of him. And so it's a smart TV, which means it wears glasses. And I have to it means I've been using a Fire Stick. So the way he put it, a smart TV is just like no dongles. You don't got to stick anything in there. And I'm like, okay, great. So all the apps are either built in or can be downloaded. So now I got to go through all my streaming services and see what's worth it, especially since they keep raising the prices.
Yeah.
And we're, trying to decide between the two of us, like what could I cut back on? And that kind of thing. And now it's not just, I've got my roommate on them, but that's just, he's in the other room. It almost doesn't even count. Right. He could just sign in as me in his bedroom if he wanted to. It's the same place. But my sister, I've signed her in, made a profile for her on a few things. And so now I got to check with her to see what she's watching the most. And if it's something that she can find elsewhere, if it's something I can keep paying for or whatever. And basically wherever they're putting Judge Judy or the Golden Girls is what she's watching. So I just got to make sure if that's something I'm paying for or something she's paying for, things like that.
Yo, that's love, yo.
Yeah. I want her to be happy. And truly what makes her happy is Judge Judy and the Golden Girls. And awesome. 227, let's not, also 227.
Okay.
So,
no disrespect. 227.
No disrespect. And then occasionally she'll dip a toe into some show that I'm just like, really? You're watching that? But yeah. She's got her own interests. We don't have to watch the same thing,
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to make sure that everybody's covered. Mostly my sister. My roommate can figure shit out on his own. He's grown. But my sister, I need to make sure she'll do it. She'll never do it if I don't do it. So.
Oh, man. I have one of my best friends is in LA now. And I definitely have HBO and YouTube through her.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have Hulu through one of my friends from high school. Nah, man. And my kids got disrespectful on her account. They made their own separate Hulu account on her joint. Yo, I had to my bad. I called her up. I was like, yo, I didn't know they did that. And she was like, don't worry about it. But I was like, yo, like it was when it was like 4 years ago. So they like innately knew, hey, dad's not gonna let me watch the adult stuff. Right. So they just assumed, oh, we paying for this, so let me just make the kid's profile. So they made a kid's profile on the thing. So I was like, yo, my bad. They were doing the right thing, but they didn't know that they're not supposed to do that. But she was like, yeah, let it rock. But yeah, that's 3 of my accounts. I
don't even know if I'm close enough to anybody I knew in high school to borrow their. Maybe I'm maintaining the right kinds of relationships. Anybody that I feel close enough to use their streaming services are already people who are on the brink and would maybe not remember to pay for their streaming services. So I'm like, it's better that I do it. Let me just be the one. I'll be the plug for the people if necessary.
I feel like, so most of my homie in LA, she I've known her since junior high school. She's, I would say, my oldest friend. Then this is most of my friends from junior high school to high school are career-wise far more successful than me. They I think they claim that they're like proud of me. Like, you know, they're like, hey, you've done like really dope stuff artistically, blah, blah, blah. I know in my heart, this is like their way of saying, let's support this poor artist.
Let's support him. You know, he can't afford.
You know, he can't do all this. You know what I mean? And like, bottom of my heart, I'm not going to deny it, and I appreciate it sincerely. Like, thank you. Straight up, these jokes ain't possible with all these little efforts.
Right.
I am very appreciative, and in turn, I told all of the people that have all of my hookups, I'm like, listen, if tomorrow you got to make a decision for you that says, hey, we are not an HBO Max family, you don't got to think about me. I mean, do what you got to do. You know, you don't even got to send me a text. I will know when the app doesn't work anymore, and I'll still text you saying, hey, man, it was a good run.
You know? Right, exactly.
That's all, because I can't. How am I going to be mad? You know, like, you hooked me up. I got to see all types of shows under the guise of this is my job. You know,
right? Yeah, right.
You know, this is that, and that's my reliance. They're like, yo, you're helping me. I gotta. This is research from my pilot that I've never written. And, you know, I've been working on it for 5 years now. I got 1 page of 6 different pilots.
That's great. So, put them together. After every commercial break, it's a completely new story.
Straight up, yo. What was that? That's like that show with the weed biker on HBO.
Oh, yes. High Maintenance. Yeah. High Maintenance. With the weed biker. That's such a great show. That's a very good. I
love that show.
Yeah. Did you watch Betty, about the girl skateboarders?
No.
It was also on HBO?
No.
Oh, watch that. That show is fantastic. Same vibe.
Yeah?
Yeah, same vibe. Just these young girls in New York skating.
Betty.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah.
I dig it.
I mean, I'm assuming it's still on Max, that it hasn't been pulled, but you know, so everybody run now to your app and see if it's still there.
They'll be like, yo, why is all these people watching Betty now?
Betty all of a sudden, yeah, right, yeah.
So it's like the HBO Max.
And that's how little that it's watched, that if 4 people who hear this go and watch Betty, an alarm will go off in the Max headquarters, like, uh-oh.
So 400% this week. Yo.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Yeah, I really do think the numbers are like that. And I think that's kind of like, I feel like that's a big part of all of these strike things that's happening. Like, I feel like all the streaming services, they've been like lying about their numbers.
Yes. That's why they didn't want to tell anyone anything.
They don't want to tell anybody anything. And they're like, if they pay us what we deserve and what TV has paid us, they would go broke because they're not actually getting the numbers to justify paying that, even though they've been saying that they have.
Right. The metrics are so vague. Like every week, the new thing that's been released on Netflix is the most watched thing on Netflix. Yeah. Every week. What? I honestly haven't turned on Netflix and I don't know how long. Like I go easy 5 months without turning on a Netflix.
Yeah.
And until I'm just like, oh, that's where that movie is. But I'm not, they really haven't made anything that I'm just like, oh, I gotta, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. When I was setting up the television and signing into all the apps, which I am able to do because I remember my passwords, which is to say I have them all written down in my password notebook. Which I call my password manager. It's all right there for you in very clear handwriting. Oh, yeah. So yeah, very professional. And so I'm just tapping it in on the remote and stuff came up and I was like, oh, all right. Well, I'll watch that thing. And then that was it. On to the next app. Like I who's watching all this shit?
I don't know who it's made for anymore.
Yeah.
Listen, they trying. They struggling over there. I really was disappointed in the Johnny Manziel thing. They had like a documentary about this dude.
Right.
That was supposed to be like his arc of like he hit rock bottom and like, now he's turning a new page and the whole documentary, it just felt like he was just bragging. Like I felt no pity for this dude. Like they were like, he would tell me like, yeah, I used to party hard. And it still looked like he was happy.
Right.
Telling the story. I'm like, yo, I'm supposed to feel like, like impending doom coming. And he was just so hyped to tell these stories that like are clearly a part of
I was like, I don't know. I didn't know he suffered yet. Yeah, has he suffered? I'm like, I feel like this is kind of new. I haven't watched it yet, but I was just like, I don't know. I feel like this stuff is still relatively new.
Yeah.
Because it's been within the past decade, right?
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know if he suffered.
They talk enough about
for a documentary anyway.
Yeah, like you didn't do the arc. That's why it doesn't hit. Like the whole documentary was like 80 minutes and like 75 of it was like all the good part. Of like him like thriving while wasting away this opportunity. And then at the end they like forced like but now I'm sad and I'm getting better. And I did
honestly
rehab.
that sounds like my solo show.
Go check it out next time it's out, baby. Okay.
Yeah, right. Who knows? Maybe I would have fit in all the sad by then.
I was just blown away because like little shit like he did rehab because he used to like drink too much and do drugs, and the closing scene is him drinking beer with his friends. Like it made no sense to me at all. Like, I'm like, I don't know if y'all get like what's happening in the scene. And like
that's very funny.
So like I was watching that and like all I could think about is like being a director and like he went home, he took all that footage and he said, what's the video footage that at least shows him being a degenerate today? And the best he could find was the one where he was only drinking one can of beer.
Only drinking a beer.
Like, God damn, man. He had work to do, yo. Like, that's all I could think about. Like, that dude was at home. He's like, he's snorting coke through all the interviews. Like, I don't know how to show that he's better today.
Yeah, it sounded like that was kind of a tough one to watch and believe.
Straight up, man. That dude's he's still like turned up now. But yeah, that's the quality of what Netflix is doing now. Like it's just half-assing it.
They have some. It might be like a series, but about the ladies of hip hop. So that has just
I've heard that was
dropped
great.
Like a little while ago, and I haven't watched that yet. I forgot. I knew it was happening, but I think I just forgot it was Netflix because, again, not the first thing I checked.
Word.
So I was like, oh, yeah, I need to watch that. So that might be what I do this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm also suddenly, I can tell that it's, cold weather, maybe cold weather is coming.
Okay.
Because I've started watching shows I'm like, I don't feel like doing comedy. I just want to sit here and see what the Righteous Gemstones is all about. So, earlier this morning, I started watching. I watched one episode of Severance.
Okay.
That's on, and seems weird. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll finish this. Whatever. Well, I'll watch this maybe. Well, what else I got going on? Oh, the rest of my life? Well, that's too bad because I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to do any of that anymore.
Yeah, I'm on board with this. I like this. That's how I when Justin Timberlake was really like working with Timberland a lot, I was like, all right, you're making pretty cool songs. I signed up to watch what I thought was a documentary about the making of like his music. It turns out it was like a TV show, Justified, about like a cowboy detective that works for like the federal agency.
Hold on. Please stop talking just for a second.
Yo.
You tuned into something called Justified.
Yep.
The TV show?
Yeah. Solid show.
Because you thought it was going to be about Justin Timberlake making
I
the Justified record or something?
Straight up. I was like, oh, this is going to be fire. Tuned in solid like 10 minutes expecting like this movie to turn into like a B story of his dad or something.
Right.
And like, no, he just
no.
kept being a federal agent. And I was like, okay, this is different. But I was like, yo, low key, this is good.
I've heard good things about Justified.
Enjoyed the hell out of it.
The TV show or whatever. But that is so funny. Yo. I can't even laugh. It's so funny.
I'm still hurt that Justin isn't in it.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I get it. Sure.
It became its own thing,
I can't even, like, just before I go to sleep tonight, my brain is finally going to click and I'm just going to laugh and stare like, what?
Because like it was like the way the ads were like cut, that like they were flashy in a weird like hip hop way almost. It's just that, and like it had like country twang, and I'm like, yeah, that's Justin. It's like like I was 100% sure. Like, all right, cool. That's how Timberland makes beats.
Yeah, that's Justin.
That's Justin. Yo, I was so in. Like, yo, let's watch this shit.
Oh, wow.
Like, all right, cool. I'll check this out. And I watched. It took legit, like, I'm going to say like 5-6 minutes in where I was like, oh, this is really another thing. But I was so into the new thing that I was like, all right, I'll watch it. I watched all like 6 seasons of that shit. It's fire.
Oh, my God.
Yo, that shit low-key brilliant.
Oh, wow. This is so funny because I know people who watch and love Justified, and that is what a funny way to get into it.
Yo, because
to stumble into that room going, hey, Timberlake ain't here? Where's Timberland at? Where's Timbo? Huh. All right. I mean, I guess I'll stick around. Y'all got good snacks. Like, what? That's so funny.
I got into it, y'all. Because nothing about that world interests me if you would have just described it. But I was like, oh, this is kind of dope. Like, all right, I'm into this storyline, and I just stayed.
Yeah.
Yo, and like now the new, there's like a new one. Yeah. A new one. And now, like, I'm a Justified fan. Like, now I tuned in to watch that for the first time. Like, yeah, I'll check this shit out. It's cool. I remember last time.
I can't.
You started with a hurdle before. Like, I know
of at least 2 people who are who will listen to this. I know 2 of my girls who will listen to this who will die laughing. At the way you stumbled into Justified. One of which who I think maybe both of them watch the show, but I know one does definitely. And the way that you stumbled into it, I can't.
Yo,
that's one of your finer moments, Gastor. That is
like
so funny.
I was so like I legit remember telling Gabby like, you want to watch this Justin Timberlake thing? Like I was like 100% sure. But yeah, FX is doing this thing on Justin Timberlake and working with Timbo. It's cool. And like the commercial never sold me different. It would be like a weird graphic.
Except there was no Justin Timberlake or Timbaland in the commercial.
The music in the commercial songs and the effects, they had a bunch of different colors.
The way it was edited. The way that you were so confident and so wrong. Also, didn't that show come out many years after that record came out?
But that's what made sense to me, that it was like a documentary on him making the music. I was shy. I was in like, yeah, it's gonna be fire. I'm gonna see how like these dudes created great music, and like they hooked and baited me. You know what I mean? But it was a good show.
That show came out a smooth 9 years after the Justified album came out.
But like, okay, but like, but how long after the Future Sex Love Sounds?
All right, let's see when that one came out.
I think it was like a combination of all of those things. Like, it's a Justified doc, and it's going to show Justin working with Timbaland a little bit after this album.
4 years after that.
Okay, I'm in the ballpark now.
Now you're in the car driving by the ballpark. I mean, don't get me wrong. He worked that Future Sex Love Sounds record he toured for that for a full year. I know, because I saw him 3 times on that tour, which is why it's very funny to me. I don't talk about the days that were my Justin Timberlake fandom, or that I occasionally will dip into newer stuff and go, that's not half bad. Like, we don't talk, we don't speak about it. But I will tell you, in a 12-month period, I saw him 3 times.
That's
and
fire.
It was for this Future Sex Love Sounds. And I still was like, and that still was years before Justified. Still 4 years before Justified.
Listen, all the Justified graphics, that whole team was inspired by Justin Timberlake. I'm convinced.
Yeah, okay, let's put that out there.
Real talk.
We'll say that. Why not?
They saw his videos and they were like, nobody's gonna believe these 2 things are the same. And my weird brain made the connection.
Yeah, it sure did. It absolutely did. I can't even.
Most of the main dude in Justified, in all the ads, he was like, his head would be down with the cowboy hat. And I was like, oh, this is like Justin about to kick off these dance moves, Like, y'all ain't ready. And that's
you
Justin
have got
shit.
to stop talking. I can't. You have to stop talking. This is too much. This is too much.
Yo, I'm still waiting for that crossover episode. It's going to happen. You know what I mean? They're going to pop in Memphis and they're going to make a Justin Timberlake guest appearance, and my life will make sense.
Yes. Oh God. I hope, for your sake, I hope so.
Let's get into the news.
Okay.
Florida Village unveils a solution to curb the peacock population. That's right. Wild peacocks are running amok in a Miami suburb, forcing the village of Pinecrest to take a unique approach to control the issue. A local vet has started conducting peacock vasectomies to help slow down the reproduction of the invasive bird species. Pinecrest Councilwoman Shannon Del Prado said the solution has received a lot of attention. The thinking is that we will perform a vasectomy on the male peacocks, tag them, then release them back into the same location. Del Prado explained. Aside from the peacocks leaving behind quite a mess, making loud noises at all hours of the night and causing some property damage, local vets said the skyrocketing population has gotten out of control. There's an ongoing feud in Pinecrest between the people who love the peacocks and the people who hate the peacocks, said Dr. Don Harris. Harris is the vet taking this issue head on. Residents, I see what you did there. Yeah. Residents said he's got his hands full, continued, especially since Harris said the male peacocks are polygamous and very cocky. Okay.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yo.
I mean, yeah, they're peacocks.
Yo, is
Why
Don
would we think
Harris?
peacocks mate for life with one person, one other peacock? I don't know.
Yo, this sound like it's personal. Like Don Harris lost a girl.
He lost his wife to a peacock.
Then that peacock took my
See,
wife.
the problem is the peacocks are cocky, right? They need to be put in their place.
That's why I'm doing it myself. One peacock at a time. Until
I'm going out
him.
here with scissors and a rubber band, and we're going to take care of this problem.
Oh, man. The city through the city's pilot program, Harris has said he's already successfully performed several procedures on Pinecrest peacocks. He thinks the idea is brilliant, and here's why. Peacocks stay cocky. He ends up breeding with 6, 7, or 10 females, but all those eggs are going to be infertile. So now you've stopped 10 females from reproducing by doing a vasectomy on one male peacock.
Yeah, he knows the name of this peacock, too. He definitely lost his wife to this peacock.
Yo, Don Harris, B, don't take it personal, B. The game is to be told, right? The game is to be sold, not told. We'll figure which side of it, but it's one of those. You know what I mean?
Which one? I can't remember which one you're supposed to be, sold or told.
Let the peacocks sell the game, okay? They out here.
Oh,
they pitching.
Wow.
That's fire, yo. Hey, this is death personal. I'm sorry, Don, but let that peacock live, all right? Real talk.
I mean,
because it sound like he like this is some shit I would say when I'm in an argument when I'm at 6, 7, 10 of them, yo. It's crazy.
Okay,
this is the most
escalation is not right. Yeah,
like that's so informal for a doctor. Like 6, 7, or 10. Is this dude even a real doctor? Like nobody like. There's no other doctor.
Does he have an office, or did he just roll in a van talking about I know what to do about your peacocks? I've been tracking this one peacock. I see he's here. Let me handle him. I don't know what the other peacocks are doing, but I can handle this one.
Real talk. Yo, because the councilwoman ain't say we got 2 vets. We got one dude, one vet just out here in Miami cutting off peacock nuts. Like, that's messed up, man. My man lost his girl to a peacock. Okay. He out here taking vets. Yo, that's
that said, peacocks do, when they decide that the places where they live, they do stay there. Like I don't know if you've ever been in a neighborhood where they let peacocks like roam free.
Never.
One time when I was in LA for an extended period of time, I went to watch a show, and it was near, maybe near downtown LA or what's the park? Something park. I forget. I'm now blanking. MacArthur Park is somewhere in there. But the neighborhood just had peacocks that just walked around. And I was like, really? Huh, that's weird. And it was in the backyard of this house. And there was just this car in the carport. And this peacock was just on the car, like watching the comedy show, just like chilling. I would occasionally get up and shake it off and then sit back down. And I was like, did he pay? The rest of us paid. And then another one just kind of wandered back and then wandered back. Like as I was waiting for my Uber, a couple were just walking down the street. I was like, okay, so we just let this happen. But I mean, there are neighborhoods where they have like wild turkeys. Wild turkeys are mean. I understand. Yeah. Just very territorial, I guess. But a peacock is just very like strutty down the street. Like, this is my neighborhood. I'm the homeowners association, you know?
Oh man.
But I don't know what I would do if I heard the sound of, I guess, mating. Yeah, that's the other thing. Do they have the sex and then do you fertilize? Okay, here's a huge gap in my learning.
Okay.
When I learned about birds laying eggs, right?
Right.
My understanding was, and again, keep in mind, when I learned I was a smooth 5, maybe. I don't know. That seems about right. Young. I was a child. My understanding was the ladybird lays the eggs, and the male bird fertilizes them, and then the ladybird sits on them to keep them warm.
Okay.
So I thought all of that happened outside the body.
Oh,
So
okay.
I thought the bird lays the eggs, and then based on what I knew of humans and fertilization, I guess the male bird jerked off on these eggs, and then the ladybird sat on them, and I guess it seeped through the shell. Still unclear. I didn't really know how to put all of that together. And to be honest with you, I was like, that's all I need to know. Never looked any further. So now I am 51, and I'm like, wait a minute, how do they fertilize? Really not sure. But I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to get Justified Justin Timberlake and a Justified TV show confused. Unsure about how eggs come to be. So now it's only now that I'm like, oh, I guess maybe they have sex and then they give birth to the fertilized eggs. But then what am I eating?
Yeah.
Right? That was the thing that threw me. I'm like, okay, well, these haven't been fertilized, or else they certainly wouldn't let me eat.
Nah, I think they have. I think because, like, you know, sometimes like you get the egg with the little birdie in it.
What?
Yeah, like
I have not gotten an egg with a little birdie in it.
Yeah, you haven't seen a little it's like a delicacy in some countries too, like the Philippines. They have the eggs that they like instead of taking them out right away to like sell them, they leave them a little bit longer, and then they sell them, and like they eat them with like the little bird inside.
Oh no, I had no idea. And you know what? I'm not even going to Google to see what the real deal is.
Real talk,
I think I like being stupid about this. Yeah, I don't need to know.
I don't know. It's kind of a dope Google search.
I don't need to know. It is not my business. How about that? Until I meet a handsome bird where it becomes my business, until some peacock shows up at my door, it is not my business.
Yo, it's gonna be the same dude Don Harris got beef with.
Know yeah, right.
Oh my God. We got what does the slang acronym IJBOL mean? That's right. Just when you thought you had them all memorized, yet another internet-driven slang term has arrived to make you feel a little out of touch. The latest is IJBOL, an acronym that stands for I just burst out laughing. And it can be used in the same way as LOL or ROFL or LMAO. As reported by the New York Times and the Today.com, the acronym is increasingly being used on social media or in text to convey users' reactions to something they find surprisingly hilarious. And it was first embraced by K-pop fans in 2021. As of this week, many users on X appear to be adopting the term more frequently in their posts, although admittedly, a lot of the posts are also people making fun of the term and the media outlets covering it. So it's like a pretzel kind of thing. In any case, searches of IJBOL have been spiking in recent months, according to Google Trends, perhaps evidence that users are desperately trying to find meaning in a word they're seeing for the first time.
Okay. I mean, you know what? Fine. So here's what I want. Once I saw the explanation, I saw it somewhere and I was like, let me Google what these letters mean, because I have to do that a lot. Like, yes, IJBOL is getting written up now. Like, oh, here's this wild, people have been like, doing this for months, for years. And every time I see one, I just look it up because I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Right.
All the tweets that I read, there's one that's just floating around when people are like, BFFR. Do you know what that stands for?
No.
B for fucking real.
Wow. That's
yeah. Let me tell you something. For all the things that young people are like, I just don't understand, boomers and Gen X, I don't understand. Y'all understand context clues because you use it so that you can write these initials. And and I got to use context clues to understand what the fuck you're talking about.
Word up.
So BFFR stands for B for fucking real. I'm online a lot, everybody. I'm lurking, but I'm online.
Okay.
So like
BFFR.
IKTR. Is that right? I got to write that one out. Let me see. IKTR is I know that's right. Yep.
That's okay.
Yeah, B for fucking real. Fucking real. There are other ones too. All the TFW.
TFW.
So have you seen that? That either means
Oh, I've seen that one.
That feeling when.
Yeah.
Or that face when.
Yeah.
Or that, you know what I mean? But I never know. It means so many, it can mean so many different things, it feels like.
Yeah, I only know that because of Reddit.
Yes. So it's happening on Reddit too, as well as Twitter. And I truly have to like think about, okay, what could you possibly, if you're in this moment, what words would you say if you weren't saying these letters? What would you actually be saying? Like it takes something. So when I saw this, I was just like, well, let me just look it up and see what it, okay, great. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Like this is news, but it's also not news. It's news for people who are not on these sites a lot.
Yeah.
Because they're throwing letters around willy-nilly. And I'm like, let the old lady fucking clackety clack clack and see what this means.
Yeah, I only knew DIFU.
What?
DIFU, did I fuck up? And the other one is
I've never seen that one before.
It's just because they're like Reddit channels where like people post stories where like they ask if they messed up. So it'll be like,
like, am I the asshole?
Yeah, like, did I fuck up by doing this thing or by this? So it'll be like, I'll get the current one. DIF up. The top thing is by cutting off my aunt and uncle for the entire rest of my family, or by playing Doom in front of my Christian parents. So
gotcha. Sure.
Like that.
I mean, like the thing is, if you read the rest of it, you're like, oh, I guess
get the context. Yeah.
Yeah, you get the okay. I guess this is what this means. So if you just kind of look at the context of this IJBOL where it's being used, it's like, oh, okay. But the thing is, nobody uses LOL the way it was initially planned.
Yeah.
Like people now use it in so many different ways that, yeah, you kind of had to come up with something else because you could mean laughing out loud, but someone thinks you mean lots of love, or someone thinks you're saying it sarcastically and you're making fun of them, or you know what I mean? Like it's the context just keeps switching.
Yo,
so
lots of love is never what I mean, ever.
Yeah, no, I'll give you a heart, but I'll do color. A heart. I gotta pick the right color for it. If it's a red heart, usually a red heart means love.
Yeah.
Like just we've all agreed. So I can give you levels of love, which is the other LOL.
Okay.
Which means like I'll give you a different color heart.
Okay.
Which means I care for you, but it's not like love, but I do care for you a great deal, and this is the color that I think corresponds with what. Yeah,
That's
it's
real.
a lot.
I do the red heart because I feel like I purposely do the red heart with my friends because I want the awkwardness to be like done. Like I got too many of my homies where like we haven't hugged.
Yeah, right.
Like I got genuine best friends where like I know for a fact all our hugs have been one arm and another arm in front of our chests. And I'm cool if that's where we at. Like if that's like your level of comfort, I get it. But like I'm breaking it one red heart at a time.
Okay.
So that's
that absolutely makes sense. That's when you should use it. Yeah, like I feel like you mean it. I mean, I love you.
Yeah, I love you.
And maybe we're not where we can say that.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
You grew up in the 90s and like you still hear pause, every time something
weird
is said. I get it. That's who you are. That's who we are. Fine.
My friend Courtney and I, we made a point of like saying we're going to say I love you.
Yeah.
To people. And if they feel funny about it, we're going to go, that's our problem. If you feel funny about it, that's on you. But I love you, so just sit in that.
Real talk. You gotta do it.
But for the most part, the people that we say it to just say it back. They're normal people who are like, well, yes, I love you too. I don't know why we also had to figure out how to bah in case they felt weird.
You know what I've noticed? Like every one of my homies that I've said it to, I can't say I love you. I have to say, yo, you know I love you, right? I gotta say it like aggressive.
Yes.
Hell yeah, I like it. This has been eye-opening for me. If you would like to send LOLs to us, I can't think of any more other things.
Yeah, or tell us how many times you IJBOL.
Yeah. Bang. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yes.
IJBOL. Is that in your rotation? I'm gonna add that as a question for that question.
Oh, that's good.
Bang.
That's good.
Boom. If you would like to stick to simple acronyms, because this is getting too confusing for me in my old age. You know what I mean? All you gotta do is like and subscribe to the show, baby. If you're an Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You are trying to use IJBOL, but you're doing so incorrectly, and the kids notice. Okay? They talk about you behind your back, you know?
Yeah.
5
that's
stars,
the worst thing.
It's the worst, you know? 5 stars, you pulling it all smoothly. You IJBOLing all over the place. Nobody knows the difference. You're a pro. They think you're 18, you know? Real talk. You were young in at heart. Much love.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man. If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo, at Gastor Almonte. Shout outs this week to Allende, Lori McDaniel, and FCBLJ. Always appreciate y'all for sending in articles. With all that said, I am the still LOLing. I like classics. Gastor Almonte. With the future.
Oh, my favorite one is
Which one?
The GTFOH. GTFOH or GTFOHWTB.
There's no way that's easier.
It's not easier, but here's what it stands for. Get the fuck out of here. Or get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Ooh.
Those are my favorite ones.
Okay.
FOH for fuck out of here. GTFOH for get the fuck out of here. Those are my favorite. I use that way more than I've ever used. I never use LOL. I write out Haas. That's how old I am. I tap out Haas on my stone tablet. HAHA. It's either going to be an odd number, 3, 5, or 7, because I got a little bit of the OCD in there. But anywho, yes.
With her FOH shirt. Shalewa Sharpe. Nah, man. You know, low key, by the way, you know why I like LOL? Because it's English words used in Spanish too. So like they'll laugh with JAJA, but they'll also write LOL even though everything else is in Spanish.
Oh, that's very funny.
Yeah, I find that like it's like understood that it means laugh, even though none of the words are Spanish words.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Maybe we should just go ahead and cement that one.
I think that's a classic right there, you know?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll catch y'all next time. LOL is all over the place. F out of here. FOH out of here. Peace.